hey mama. No, I love saying that. I love doing the hand clap and then saying that. It will never not be funny to me. Anyways, hello, my name is Tomato Bicycle. I speak for the tomatoes. I wanted to do a physical media collection, but like the problem, okay, here's the thing. I have been collecting physical media since 2023, and I'm finally at the place, at least with my DVDs, not with anything else, not with CDs, magazines, books, but with my DVD. I've been having the hardest time speaking, and that's going to happen multiple times during this video. You just have to accept it. But at least with my DVDs, I am like finally happy where like I watch a DVD at least every single day. I use my DVD player all the time. So I wanted to show you my collection, but the problem with it is every time I do one of these videos, I just make a huge mess because I'm showing you all my DVDs, and I have a lot, and I have them like in, like I'll have like a Batman shrine and a Scooby-Doo shrine and a Ninja Turtle shrine, so I have to move them from their shrines. So I'm gonna show you them little by little. I'm also doing this on my TikTok, but I thought it'd be fun to do on YouTube because I get to ramble more and I love rambling. I wanted to do a quick little reading update though. Big news. I have been going through it mentally and spiritually. It has not been a fun few days for me. So I've been like really grateful that I have media. But big news, I finished Legendborn. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. I wasn't like prepared. Like I knew it was going to be good. It was so good. I'm not gonna do a whole video about it. Here's the problem. I one time saw internet discourse about reading because we can't enjoy things as a society, and it was like you shouldn't read a book in like one day. Like you won't be able to like internalize it and like like comprehend it. And then somebody commented, I actually think I comprehend less the longer I read a book. I was like, wait a minute. And that's how I feel about Legendborn. I thought it was an incredible book. I thought it was so well written. The characters are like, I think this is my favorite cast of characters I've ever read in a book. Cell is how you say his name, is my everything. I love him so much. I thought Bree was a perfect main character. I thought she was perfectly like realistically flawed without being like annoying and insufferable, because sometimes there will be characters that are annoying and insufferable, and sometimes that's the point, and sometimes that's not the point, but they're still annoying and insufferable. She was amazing. I thought she was still like not a Mary Sue by any means, but like genuinely so well written. The one thing is though, it took me 19 days to read it because it's 19 hours, which is about an hour a day, which like isn't bad. But it took me so long to read that like certain plot points, I'm like, how did that happen? And so I'm going to continue the series. The next book is 23 hours. So I'm gonna take a brief pause, but I'm so incredibly proud of myself finishing the book. I'm so incredibly proud of myself finishing that book. I loved it. I thought it was so good, especially like the last 20%. I was like, it dragged a little in the middle for me personally, but like the last 20% was so good. Like generally, I am so attached to all of these characters. I love them. I think they're so fun. I think the magic system is so unique. But the reason I'm not going to make a whole video about it is because I forgot everything. But I did really enjoy it. But like, I don't remember a lot of the first half of the book. Like the first half feels like a lot different than the second half. However, I will say, like, the one last thing I will say is I feel like it did a really good job at like making like a big contrast between the beginning of the book and the end of the book without like making it a big leap. I feel like sometimes you'll read a book and you'll be like, okay, there is a big difference between the start and the finish, but the big difference started at like the 90% mark. Like it was all very much the same until the 90% mark. Where with this book, it was like consistently like gradually building up and like getting more intense, and I did appreciate about it. I just feel like it could have been a bit shorter. That's my opinion. For my physical read, I'm still working my way through The Handmaid's Tale. This book is devastating. It is so good. I love it. I am a feminist. I am pro-choice. this book means a lot to me. And for my next audiobook, I was like, what should I do? I want something fun. I'm going to read Flowers in the Attic, which is an insane book. Ask your parents. Like, if you're, depending on who your parents are, but if your parents are chill, be like, do you remember Flowers in the Attic? And if, ask, my dad doesn't read it all. My dad's like, I know Flowers in the Attic. I was like, oh, okay. But I need something light after Legendborn. I need something I could just get into. But I didn't want a romance. I am in such a romance slump. I can't do another romance. I have nothing against romance. I don't think you're illiterate if you read romance. I think there's a lot of misogyny around romance. I'm actually a smut defender and a romance defender. I will die in that hill if you're anti-smut, you're anti-woman. You might think that's too woke. You might think that's too feminist. I think there's no such thing as too woke and too feminist. And that's my opinion. However, I need a break. But I still wanted something like light and fluffy. I know this series. I know a big spoiler for the series about one of the characters. I know I'm going to be devastated. But so far, this book is like, the first 3 books are somewhat chill. I've never finished the series. I had a really bad habit when I was my first time, like when I first started reading a book, getting into the last book in the series, and then not finishing it, and like getting halfway through and not finishing it. So I've done that with this book. So this will be my 3rd time. Maybe my 4th. No. My 3rd. This will be my 3rd time reading this book, but I have not completed. This series is weird. There's technically 4 books, but there's also like a 5th book that like, it's weird. That's like official, but like not a part of the series, but it follows the same characters. But anyways, it's the Sisters of Traveling Pants. The first book of this series was my first read of the year, my first full read of the year. I finished one other book before it, but like, it was like I started it in 2025, so the first book in the Sisters of Traveling Pants series was my first full read of 2026, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I also flew through it. I think this is a really easily digestible book, and still like really well written and really good. There's a lot of problems with these books, especially like the age gaps, in my opinion, are very inappropriate, and also the love interests are not consistent. There will be multiple times in the series where I would love to do, like, I love the Sisters of Traveling Pants. I read it first. I read the first 3 books when I was in the 7th grade, and I literally, like, got all my friends addicted to it, where I would, like, pass out my books and be like, you need to read this book, and we'd all read the books. I was a trendsetter. And then I reread them my junior year, and again, both times I got to the 4th book, read a little bit, and then stopped. So I will be finishing it. My first ever book slump was because of the Sisters of Traveling Pants, because I figured out a huge spoiler, and I was like, I'm not doing that. But I really, really enjoy these books. I will say though, like, yeah, the love interests are extremely inconsistent. There will be multiple times where like a girl ends up with a boy in one book, and then the next book he's like never mentioned again. It's like, what? I would love to do like a full like analysis on these books. I think that'd be really fun. That and Twilight. I hate Twilight, but I used to love it. You know how people love enemies to lovers? I'm lovers to enemies with Twilight. That's my opinion though. But I just thought this would be so much fun. I'm already like 22% through. I am eating it up. I truly love these books. They are so much fun to me, and they're so good. They're a little chunky. How many pages are these? They're about 400 pages, a little less than 400 pages. They're so good. And I just there's 2 movies. They didn't do all 4, but they did the first 2 books and turned them into movies. I've never seen them before, and I know like a lot of people have never read the books. Like the movies are classics for them, so I'm loving these books. It feels so good to be back into reading. Again, I wasn't ever out of reading, but I was reading slowly, which I don't like. It feels so good to be able to just eat a book up. I'm really loving this. Anyways, that was the reading update. Let's get into my Batman collection. So, again, as I said earlier, I've been collecting physical media since why did my voice just crack? Since 2023, and the one thing I will say is my biggest tips for people who want to collect physical media that like I don't hear a lot is libraries and library bookstores. First off, just get a library card and rent shit. I know you won't own it, but like still. And also, if you want stuff in your collection, library bookstores are incredible. My local library has stuff like the cheapest is $1, and then like the most expensive I've ever seen is like $5. It's so just girl. You just gotta you gotta utilize your local library. Other than that, like thrifting is very good. Also, I will say, I know we don't love Walmart. Like I know Walmart has a lot of problems. But Walmart is the only grocery store I can walk to, and it's like the only place I can buy physical media that I can walk to. And it also, like, besides thrifting, has the cheapest physical media. Don't hate me, I'm sorry. But I will say, Walmart has pretty good selection. The $5, they don't do bins anymore, but they still have like a $5 movie section. It's incredible. Also, they have like a lot of series, like some of them are really expensive, but like some of my favorite series, like I got the entire Ninja Turtle series, the 2012 Ninja Turtle series for $29. I have my eye on Teen Titans for $29. And then one of the series I'm going to show you I got for $20. So they have pretty good selection, but thrifting, obviously. Also, I do a lot of like in-person thrifting, and my biggest stores are like local thrift stores, Goodwills, but also like specific media stores like Half Price Books, and also if you live in Arizona, Bookman's is incredible. Bookman's is so good. I think it has a better selection than Half Price Books. Love Bookman's. I'm sorry if you don't live in Arizona, because I don't like have any that good, and if you don't have a Half Price Books in your state, because I know Half Price Books in quite a few states, but it's not in every single state in America, so I'm sorry if you don't have that. But like I would just recommend like physical media stores like that are thrifty, like thrifted physical media stores, that they're stores that are specified in physical media. And yeah, that's what I would recommend. Also, I have a portable DVD player. I'm lucky enough to own one. This was $100. I got the big one. I recommend the big one. I think it's so much better than the smaller ones. It also doesn't break as easily. I love it. But also, DVD players are not super expensive, and again, you can thrift them. And also, if you have an old PlayStation, I don't know if PlayStation 2 works, but both PlayStation 3 and both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 have like where you can watch DVDs, and you can watch Blu-ray on them. So if you have an old PlayStation, you have a DVD player. But I wanted to start off with the stuff I am renting through the library. Obviously, these are not in my actual collection, but again, I want to always encourage people to utilize their local library. I will say a lot of the comics I read are like ebooks through the library. My favorite app for ebooks through the library is Hoopla. Hoopla has a great selection. I love Hoopla. And they also have Cloud Library and Libby, which doesn't have as good a selection, but still like pretty good. Okay, they're okay. But I'm currently reading the Red Hood Outlaws series through Hoopla, and I'm also reading the Gotham by Gaslight series. And those are like my current reads. But this is everything I have rented through the library that is Batman related. So I got this 11 film collection of Batman, Lego, not just Batman, but DC Lego movies. And it is unhinged. It is none of the movies are that good, honestly. However, like I'm so committed to the bit of like watching all of them that it's like I just have to watch them. It's kind of a good way to like introduce you to the characters if you like want to learn more about the Justice League. I don't know, I probably wouldn't recommend this to anyone, but I am enjoying it. They're really easy to just put on and like just have on, and like I can half pay attention to them because they don't take that much brain power. So I do not recommend them, but I'm enjoying this. I have 2 Batman comics. One I've read, one I have not. I read this one. It is a Christmas comic. I read it in July. I have free will. Love this. I don't know anything about this comic. I saw a TikTok that was like, we need to start reading books we know nothing about, and I took that to heart. So I know nothing about this, but I'm excited. For comics I own 4. I got 3 of them from the library, and one of them I bought at Half Price Books. I got these 2 Harley Quinn comics from the library bookstore. They're so gorgeous, specifically this one. This one is so, I don't know if you like picks up how beautiful it is. Like it is so pretty. I love these. These are like, I feel like people who don't read comics, like this is what they think of when they think of a comic. They don't think of something like this that's like a book. They think of like a comic. Like this is a comic, this is a comic book. You know, that's the difference. I love these. These were made in 2015. They were originally $2.99 each. I think they're so incredibly cool. I think these are one of the coolest things I have in my collection. I love them. I'm very grateful I own these. And then this one, I also got from the library. I did not get from the library bookstore. I got from... I damaged it. I water damaged it, and I had to pay $35. And I'm sorry. And now this comic makes me mad, so every time I look at it, I get mad and I refuse to read it. But I will read it eventually. This is my first comic. This is The Dark Knights of Steel. This is it's a good comic. It is. It was my first one, and I don't think I enjoyed it that much because I just wasn't used to reading comics. But I do enjoy it, and I did like it. I also think it's one of the most interesting concepts for a Batman comic. I did really enjoy like that aspect. I thought it was really well written, and like, sorry, I have a huge crush on Poison Ivy, and I'm just staring at her in this comic. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. But I did enjoy this. And it was a really good first comic. I feel like it was a really good beginner comic, and I did really enjoy that. So, okay, now we're getting on to the movies. I own 3 Batman movies, and then I own a couple like seasons of TV shows. So for the Batman movies, we'll go with my first ever Batman DVD, Under the Red Hood. My lore with this movie, if you want to know, is I got really into Jason Todd last year because I was sad. That's the only explanation you need. And I watched Under the Red Hood, and I didn't like it because I really never watched anything Batman before. So I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I got it on DVD because I was like, do you have Jason Todd comics at Half Price Books? And they're like, no, but we have the DVD of Under the Red Hood. And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll get it. And then I watched it like 7 times in a row. And then I never watched it again until April of this year. That was in December. I got it for my birthday. No, maybe it wasn't in December. No, it was. It was. I got it for my birthday, and then in April, I was like, oh, I should rewatch that, because I was starting really into Jason Todd again, and I sobbed so hard. I feel like most people cry during Under the Red Hood, but I hadn't yet, and I had like a superiority complex. I was like, I'm not gonna cry over this stupid movie. It's to the point where like I would love to rewatch this movie. I think it's a really well done, like really probably one of the best, and it's not my favorite, but it's better than my favorite for sure. Like, it's much more well written. However, it makes me so unbelievably sad. It makes me so unbelievably sad. Like, it fills me with such profound grief. Jason Todd I can't even get into how much I love him. He makes me so sad. He makes me so unbelievably sad. And I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. Like, I wish I could, like, take the sorrow inside my body and, like, give it to you so, like, you could understand. Because he, like, makes me so gut-wrenchingly heartbroken. To the point where, like, if I watched this movie today, I probably wouldn't recover for several months. it would probably take me several months, and it would probably be like one of those things where like I get very easily triggered again. Like if I see a sad Jason Todd crying, I would just break down. I also am like, I'm gonna go on a little side tangent. Here's the thing. I turned 19 and I'm no longer a child. I know a lot of people don't consider 19-year-olds real adults. I have no problem with that. I don't think I consider myself a real adult. I'm not like offended by that. If you're like, you're 19, you're still a kid. That's fine, but I am technically not a minor anymore. And this is my first like year like not being a minor, like full year of not being a minor. And I started looking as kids as like kids and not just like someone like, you know, it's like when you're like in high school and like you look at high schoolers like one of you, and then like you're out of high school and you're like, high schoolers are babies. That's how I feel towards every single minor. And seeing children experience any type of pain or sorrow or like even minor inconveniences deeply upsets me. And especially like any child, but especially children I care about, and seeing like baby boy Jason get beat to death by a crowbar, I can't handle it. I can't do it. It makes me too sad. It makes me so heartbroken. So I actually think I might burn this so I never have to think about Jason Todd again. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, Batman's other son, Damian Wayne. I got this because I kept seeing this one video that edited this movie, and it was every time Nightwing showed up, Sexy Back played, and I thought that was hilarious, and that's why I got this movie. I don't know anything about this movie except that it has Damian Wayne in it, and I do love Damian. I love the four main Bat Boys. I really do love them. So I really appreciate them, and I think they're very silly and goofy and fun, even when they're getting beat to death by crowbars. So I do inevitably want to watch this. I just haven't had the chance yet. I've been trying to make my way through my library DVDs, like that's my priority. But the problem about like getting so many library DVDs so often is they don't watch a lot from my other collection. But I am excited to watch it. This is my favorite Batman movie ever. This is Gotham by Gaslight. Okay, I was stupid. Here's the thing. I don't usually buy things online. I, like, never buy things online. This is my first time buying a DVD online. I am not the type of person to do that just because I don't have a debit card. So it's not really an option for me. And I'm much more like a buy it in person type person. I will say buying online is much easier. Like, it's much easier to just type in a DVD you want, get it online, and like order it and have it shipped to your house than like going to a store, looking through the selection, having to put it on hold. Like, I get it. Like, I get the convenience. I just don't have the money for that. However, since I don't buy things online, I am stupid and idiotic. And so I'll see something, I'll go, okay, that looks like what I want, and then I'll buy it, and then I'm like, wait a minute, and I'll receive it, I'm like, wait a minute. So I didn't realize that this movie was Blu-ray. I would never usually buy a Blu-ray. I'm not a Blu-ray girl. I guess some people are elitist fucks about Blu-ray and are like, Blu-ray is better. I don't care. Blu-ray can't play on shit. If Blu-ray's better, why can't it play on anything except my PlayStation? That's stupid. Also, it's in Spanish. Not the movie itself, but the case is. So I do plan to get this movie like regularly, but I feel like, I guess Blu-ray lasts longer, so I guess it's good that I have the Blu-ray. But this is the movie, so love it. And then for the TV series I have Teen Titans Season 2. I haven't watched any Teen Titans. I really want to watch Young Justice, but I feel like I should start with Teen Titans. I really want to watch Young Justice, and I'd love to watch both Young Justice and Teen Titans, specifically on DVD. But they have the complete series for $29 at Walmart, and if I get money, I might do it. But I am excited to watch this. Okay, this is Batman Beyond. I love this TV show. I'm about halfway through it. I'm on season 2. I love this TV show. I knew nothing about it when I picked it up. that other than those Batman, and I wanted to watch a Batman show. I've been like craving a Batman show. I love it. This is gonna be my show for July. I'm trying to finish a show every month. I finished Gravity Falls this month. Last month I finished Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. So I'm trying to like do a show every month, and this is gonna be my show. I love it. I love it. I love it, and I loved it so much I wanted to watch the whole thing on DVD. So I made my mom buy me the complete series. I am so happy I have this. Actually, a library I just got a card at had the complete series on DVD, and I literally put it on hold, and then I didn't need it anymore because I bought this. It was $20, which I feel like is a great deal. The only thing I don't have is the Batman Beyond movie, which I have other means to watch it. So I am excited though. I love watching it on DVD. It is so much fun. It's genuinely incredible. This is one of the only series I have fully on DVD. The other one I have fully on DVD is Avatar: The Last Airbender and 2012 TMNT. Avatar: The Last Airbender is a really good deal. It's like $15 for the whole series. Highly recommend buying it at Walmart. But yeah, that is everything. My favorites are probably these three. I love these three. Gotham by Gaslight, Under the Red Hood, Batman Beyond. I love them. These are probably like the ones I couldn't live without. I really do love them. So I really appreciate them. But yeah, that's everything. Just please remember to support your local library. And yeah, that's it.